Hi everyone, happy Valentine's Day. Today is February 14th. It is Monday, and I just want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day and give you my update on how I've been stitching the last couple of days. I started on Sunday working on a prompt in I don't know, two different groups. I was working on the 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic, and I needed a whip to be for the letter W, and so that was Winter Quaker. And I also was using Winter Quaker as one of my year-long projects that I am doing in a year-long challenge on Facebook, and it's called Animal Adventures, and we have to stitch anywhere from 100 to 500 stitches to find 8 different groups of animals each month. And the more stitches you do, of course, the more privileges you get to swap out your whips that you're working on and that sort of thing. So today I decided that I would go ahead and stitch at least 300 stitches in this project. Then I got to a point where I was working on a motif and I didn't want to stop. I wanted to finish the motif. So I wound up getting a total of 652 stitches on this project. Now that's over 2 different days, but it still made a big difference. So let me show it to you. Here it is. Okay, so I started over here and I did several of the little white single strand snowflakes, quite a few of them actually. I stitched this motif here and I stitched this motif here. So as you can tell, I'm working my way across that row. I have a few more things to do here, and then I have to scroll this up because the motif right here is the biggest one, I think, on the whole thing. There are 2 really big ones at the bottom, and it's one of them. But I am thrilled with the progress I made. So there you have it. Over 600 stitches in Winter Quaker. You hadn't seen it in a little while, so now you can see these beautiful threads. So I finished that this afternoon and took Coco for a walk. My husband and I grabbed a quick bite for supper, and I decided to work on another prompt. So I looked at my spreadsheet that I showed you on my last video, and I realized that this past Friday, I had a new prompt, a new whole series of prompts for the next 2 weeks that include 5 more prompts that I needed to add to my original 38 if I wanted to work on them. And I did want to work on them. So one of those new prompts said that you were to work on a project that was either gifted to you, whether it was fabric that was gifted to you or the pattern that was gifted to you, thread, whatever, and you got bonus points if you stitched your stitches in red. Well, you know what's coming, don't you? Yeah, Dogwood Lace. So today I pulled it out. I've been working in this upper left corner, and that's the flowers, you know, that I had finished in that corner. So today I came over here, I did these flowers here, I did this center where it's starting to work its way down, and I came over here and made it all the way to here, and these 2 ran together. Something was wrong. So I went back and checked all of this that I stitched today, and it was right. And when I started checking this, I had stitched 1 stitch too many in this little twig right here, and I was able to correct it right away. Oh, what a relief. For one thing, because I wanted it to match up correctly, and for the other, because it's going to be mirrored on the other side, It had to be, you know, what I would be stitching again. So we got it fixed. Anyway, today I only put in, with this little section right here, 213 stitches in this. But for my prompt for 24 hours of cross stitch, I only need whatever my other prompt is, or a minimum of 200. As it turned out, I only needed 200 stitches in it for my other prompt. So 213, got it? I'm good to go. I'm thinking I may use it for one more prompt. And if I do, it'll be stitching alternative stitches. And that means you have to add 100 stitches to it. So I need to put another 300 stitches in here. And I think I'm just going to leave it in the Q-snap and pick it up possibly tomorrow and see if I can't get those added in. And if I can, I'll come back and share it with you again. But so far, that's where it is. Well, I hope you've had a great day. I'm going to go now and join Coco. She has already called it a night, and it's rather late. And I will see you tomorrow, hopefully, Lord willing. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is the 15th of February, and I'm back to share with you a little bit of a quick update on my Dogwood Lace. I did stitch more on that this morning, and I was able to hit another prompt with it. And so now I've hit both prompts that I was using it for. But this is a reminder of what it's going to look like when it's finished. And I'll show you now where I'm at. I just kept working my way across in the flowers there where I last connected. And I continued on for another 315 stitches. The last prompt that I met with this was a prompt that I didn't have anything to go with, and that was to stitch on something with food or something you eat. And I don't have anything like that. So I just did alternate stitches, which is an extra 100 stitches. So the prompt called for 200, I stitched 315. So I still get the points for it, and this is where I'm going to put this one away at today. I hated to stop. I really wanted to kind of go in there and finish that whole center, but I have some other prompts I want to hit. So it is making me put this one away for now, and I will stitch on it again later. So as of right now, I am going to have to go back and see what prompts I have left, see which ones I want to grab to stitch today. So if I have anything to share with you later on, I'll come back and share it later tonight. In the meantime, though, happy stitching with whatever you're working on today. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina again. It's the same day, just a little bit later, but I wanted to pick up this whip that I just finished working on and share it with you. You haven't seen this one in a long time. This is my Mermaid by Teresa Wintzler. And I don't work on it that often because it is so confetti heavy that I can't take it with me places. It's not a traveling piece. I have to work on it here at the house. So I finally bit the bullet today and pulled it out for two prompts, both in acrostics, both the Magazine Monthly Challenge and my 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. In the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch, I was using it for the number 2 because it is my second Teresa Wintzler piece. And for the Monthly Magazine Challenge, it was one of the M's in Yummy, which stood for Mermaid. And so, as I have mentioned a couple of times before, when I'm working on an acrostic and I don't have any other minimum number of stitches for another prompt that I'm trying to meet, I always aim for 200. So today, I did 223. And I wanted something that I felt like I could just do a little bit on and be ready to put it back away instead of wanting to finish a whole big section like in the border. So I just started in the sky. And so there you have the first beginnings of the sky. And you can see how confetti heavy that is, because there are still, even though I've got 223 stitches in there, look at that. There are still spaces all throughout there. I was doing color completion, one color at a time, until I ran my thread out at the bottom. I was starting at the top and working my way as far across as the color would go, and then I would come back over here and do it again, or come back this way, you know, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until I ran out of that color of thread near the bottom. And then I went and picked up another piece at the top, sort of treating it like a full coverage piece, because it is a full coverage piece. Oh, anyway, so there you have it, 223 stitches. I've started on the sky rather than coming over here and trying to get this whole medallion done today. I didn't have as much time to stitch this afternoon, and so I wanted to do something that I could, you know, be able to just stop when I was ready and walk away. And that's what I did. So every stitch counts, every bit, you know, has to be stitched. So I feel really good about that. And there you have it. That's where it is. So that's my stitching for the day. Met 2 more prompts with it, which is great. And so I will put this back away, and then I'm going to get my little planning document out and see what I have that I need to maybe focus on for tomorrow. I should have a good bit of stitching time tomorrow, so I'm going to keep that in mind as I pick what I'm going to work on. So I'll talk to you soon. Happy stitching. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dina, and this is my channel about cross stitch. And today is February the 17th, and I am here to give you a bit of a report. It's been a couple of days. I decided to bite the bullet and try to get some of my prompts met for my animal adventures. Each prompt is 300 stitches, so it takes a bit of stitching to get it done. This is the prompt that I'm doing where you have to stitch on one of 3 of your whips that you identified at the first of the year. So one of those is pandemic, and I decided I would stitch on it for several of those prompts, as many as I could get in a couple of days, because I didn't want to get to the end of the month and have all of them to stitch. So I am happy to report that in the last 2 days I have stitched 966 stitches, which means that I have met my prompt 3 times over. So the first thing I did, I'll share it, I went all the way across with my border. So here is the far side. So this now has the whole border. So that's how big my project is going to be. So I have a really nice border on each side. Then I came back over here at the beginning of page 3, because this is page 2. And I started at the top, and I met up with all of this, and I started over in here where this line is, and I brought this around. So I just started working down from the top down, and I was trying to do it in about a 10 stitch square so I could get it all the way down. But some of it just made more sense to work on over here and fill out, you know, a design that kind of went together and let it variegate. So that's what I did, and I'm very, very happy with it. Of course, this took up a lot over here just doing this border, but I'm glad to have that there. I didn't turn the corner and come down because I want to work my way across and make sure that I've counted correctly. But there you go. I've got a lot of new stitching in right here in addition, so I think it's done very well. I've hit 6 of the 8 animals now, so I'm hoping, since it's just the 17th of the month, that I'll be able to grab either this or one of my other two projects and put another 300 stitches in it on 2 occasions so that I can get all of those met. I hadn't used Pandemic. Well, I did use it for one more thing, and that was in the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. It is standing for the letter I, which is an international pandemic. I've used that anytime I've had an I ever since I've started working on Pandemic. So let me tell you a little bit about how my goals are doing now. I have 4 goals that I have determined I'm going to do my project Nativity to meet. And that is going to be probably the next one that I pull out because I need to get those done. And I need to get some work on it because I'm supposed to finish that angel this year. So what better way than to have 4 different prompts to do it? 2 of those prompts require 300 stitches. So I'll meet one prompt with 300 stitches, and I'm going to let that cover the other 2, and then I'll meet one more prompt with 300 stitches this month. And so I may not do them at the same time, but I'll at least try to get 300 stitches in it today. If I do in time, I'll come back and share it with you. But the rest of my prompts are narrowing down. So I have one prompt for 24 Hours of Cross Stitch that I'm going to stitch on Crabapple tree for. And because I don't have anything else to go with it, you know what I'm about to tell you, I'm going to aim for 200 stitches. And then I think that'll be what I want to do with that one. And then, because one of the Facebook groups that I'm in post prompts every 2 weeks, I didn't have that challenge when I did all of this at the beginning of February. So I've added that one in, and it carried another 6 prompts in that challenge. And so far I've met 2 of them with my Dogwood Lace that I worked on. And so I've got 4 more to meet, one of which I'm going to meet with my Patriotic sampler. And the other 3 I'm going to meet with Hawk Run Hollow. So I'll be pulling back out Hawk Run Hollow here maybe by this weekend and try to get all my prompts. I'm going to share a little secret with you. I would like to finish all of these prompts within the next week because I would like to have a week of stitching that I can just stitch on anything I want so that I can get ready for my travels next month. We are traveling. I'm traveling with my husband in the beginning of March, and then I'm going to a stitching retreat with my guild toward the end of March. And so I need to look at what I want to have ready to go. You know, I like to do retreat stitching when I can. I like to go ahead and do the outline of big blocks of color that I can fill in. And I think I have a couple of whips that might work well for. And I might want to get that prepped next week and have it ready for when I'm at retreat, so I have good retreat stitching available. I have been asked if I would like to participate in a smalls exchange for the retreat, and this small is specified. It's a needlebook. I've never made a needlebook before. I wasn't sure I was going to try to do that. I'm still not sure. I'm considering it for the first time. If I can finish all of these prompts in time, then I would have a week to stitch on a needlebook, and I think you know, I'd have a week in this month and maybe 3 or 4 days next month that I could dedicate to it. And if I can do it, I will. I just don't know if I'm going to make it or not. I'm going to try. But that's another reason I'm trying to kind of rush through some of these prompts that I had obligated myself to do on my own planning. Of course, you know, everything's subject to change, but I am going to try to do them. And then I have a fabulous event that's going to happen next week. Because of my lovely stitchy kindness that I got from my friend, I now have all of the word plays. I have a dear friend in England who is stitching word plays, and she's finishing up January now, and she wants to start February. And we stitch together, if we can, once a week online. And so she has asked me, since I got those, if I would like to start the February wordplay with her when we stitch next week, and I would love to do that. So today I get to go and dig in my fabrics and see what I want to stitch them on, and pull my floss and see what I need to pull together, if I'm going to have to substitute colors or if I need to make an order. I may not have time for this one for the called for colors, but we'll have to see, what I've got. So I get to go play in my stash. I'm pretty excited about that. That's a fun thing. It's an unplanned start, but you know what? It's perfect timing because I just said I need some smalls to take with me on my trips. And right now I have a couple of smalls, small to medium. I've got my Will You Be My Valentine started. And then I have my Time for New Beginnings started. And then I was working on Flaky Friends as well. And I consider those small enough to take with me traveling. But that's only 3 things. And, my friend Donna says that's not enough. So we'll see. But at least I would have those 3 to take with me. And I think that would be at least a good start. I try to take things, as I've told you before, that are on Q-snaps so that they're easier to pack and very, very portable. But my Dogwood Lace is on a Q-snap as well. So it may have to go back with me again because I made some progress on it last time. Well, I have prattled on now for 9 minutes and something, so I'm going to stop and let you get back to what you were doing. I was just so excited that I had gotten so far on pandemic, that I had met so many of my goals so far, and I'm really tickled about that. And my husband is filming today in Atlanta. He does some extra work in the movies, and he's helping to put together, I guess, a commercial today. He'll probably be in a big crowd and you'll never see him, but that's okay. So he will be getting home quite late this evening, and you know what that means? Late night stitching. I'm excited about that. I've already taken Coco for a nice walk, and she and I will hang out together, and we will chill. I had a little spot of vertigo yesterday. That's another reason I didn't film yesterday. I didn't stitch at all yesterday afternoon. I stitched some in the morning, and then that was it. I couldn't do it. I don't get it often, but when I do, it kind of is a little bothersome. And I have a picture of Coco and I. I was sitting downstairs and I couldn't stitch, but I was watching FlossTube on the TV. My husband thought that was hysterical that I was watching it and not stitching, but I just couldn't do it. But that helped me pass the evening time, and Coco, I guess, could just sense that Mama wasn't feeling up to 100% because she crawled up on the couch and laid across my little lap and put her little head down and took a nap with me as I was watching TV. And I was able to just pull my phone around and snap a picture before she woke up. So I'll put that in here and let you see it at the end of this little segment. Happy stitching, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is Friday. It is the 18th of February, and I'm here to give you a really brief update. I have met 3 prompts in the last 24 hours in one of my challenge groups, and they were for things like stitch on a piece that has a person in it, stitch on a piece that represents spring, and all 3 of the prompts fit in my Hawk Run Hollow. The final one was to stitch on something that had one of the animals in the Chinese zodiac. So I looked them up, and they have both a dog and a rabbit, and Spring at Hawk Run Hollow has both. So I want to show you my progress. This is where I've gotten to now. I have started on the first block, and I've done the top border all the way off over here to the last 3 stitches that I need there for that border. But I've gotten that done I started it on the first prompt, stitched on it till I had enough stitches and took a picture and posted it, and just kept going until I had all 3 of them. So very happy with that, and happy to get this much progress on my spring at Hawk Run Hollow piece. And I had decided yesterday, I had mentioned that I might go ahead and start Nativity, but I was a little bit tired. My eyes were a little tired yesterday. So instead, I started on Hawk Run because that border was going to be little blocks of color, and I felt like that would be easier to get done yesterday. So now I'm going to take a break. My husband and I are going to have a late lunch, and then I'll be back at it this afternoon. I'll talk to you again soon. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is later on the 18th of February, and I am back with you because I am thrilled to be able to share something with you. I dropped off 3 pieces to be framed back on the 9th of February, and they told me it would probably be around the 22nd or so before they were ready. But I got the call today and they were done. My husband and I were out and about at that moment having our lunch. We had just finished, had gotten in the truck, and we're headed home. And I got the call, and I looked at him and I said, "You wouldn't want to go to Hobby Lobby, would you?" And he just turned and went for me. I was so excited. So I want to share them with you. You've seen them all as finished objects, but now I'm going to share them with you as framed objects. But the first one, I have to ask my sister to look away because she'll be seeing this at a later date. Okay, I'll show the rest of you this, and I'm leaving it packaged because it's protected so well, so forgive me for that, because it is still wrapped up. But here it is, all finished up. There's the close-up, so you can see that, and how well that looks with the writing in there. So this is going to be for my sister, Stephanie, for her Christmas. I'm thrilled to have it ready so far. So, okay, sister, you can look back now. So that's item number 1 from the framer. The second one, I'm doing them in the order that I finished them in, is my Strawberry Fields Forever. And I just love it. I think this green in the frame matches the green in those leaves so well. And I'm just really, really tickled at how pretty that looks. It's a small piece. So this is going to go in with my 4th of July and summer decor. So it's in plenty of time for that, which I'm very happy about. And then here's the one most of you have said you were waiting to see. And that is the Gathering Eggs. You'll notice that this frame is very similar to the other one that had the green in the middle. It's the same type of frame, but this pink, purpley pink, I think really pulls out all that beautiful purple in the border, in her dress, in the beads. It just pops. This is the one I mentioned that we tried multiple choices before we settled on this. But when we laid this molding down in the corner of the fabric, just to give an idea of what it would look like, the young lady helping me just gasped. She just, oh, that's it. So she put it on their little system, you know, where they take a picture of it, and then they impose all of the frame, matting, whatever you're getting. They have it computer generated, and we saw it and said, yep, that's going to be the one. So this is just in time for Easter. So this is going up on my mantle. It'll be a major part of my Easter decor this year. So I'll probably wait until at least St. Patty's Day is passed before I start all the Easter. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot for St. Patty's Day, so I may go ahead and start with my Easter decor pretty quickly. But I just wanted to show her to you. I hope you like her. And now I'm going to get busy stitching. I've got a couple more prompts I want to try to hit today. And so, but I just had to share that with you. Thank you for letting me do that. And I'll talk with you soon. Happy stitching, everyone. Hi, I wanted to come back and give you a little bit of an update on my stitching this afternoon. I was working on a sixth and final prompt for one of my Facebook groups, and it was to stitch on something that represented either fire or firecrackers or something along those lines. And I decided that 4th of July, you have firecrackers, and people will build little fires in their fire pits to roast marshmallows and hot dogs and or fire up the grill to do that. And so I felt it was the closest thing I had with a fire on it. Anyway, I pulled out my Patriotic sampler, and the last time I worked on it, I finished these words right across here. So I had a choice then. I needed to decide, was I going to come over here and try to place that, or did I want to get this big motif in and then work around it? And I decided I needed to get this placed because everything else is a bit smaller and could be tweaked if need be to make it fit if I've done anything wrong as far as counting. So I did just that. I worked on it. I forgot to take it off my stand before I started filming, so let me do that real quick. And I have finished 328 stitches on that large motif in the middle, and here's what mine looks like so far. Took me a little bit to read the pattern and figure out what the stitches were and what colors were represented where, because there are five colors in here. No, one, two, three, four colors in here, because you've got this dark blue, then you've got this beautiful light blue, and you also have 2 shades of red in this motif right here. So there they are placed, and now I can start working on the row of stars below it. And then once I have that, I could probably stitch all around up in here. But I felt like that was enough for a small prompt, and it was for my prompt that was requiring 200 stitches, and so I actually did the 328 because I wanted to finish both of those little motifs that mirrored each other while I had the pattern in my head. And then next time when I come back here, I can start working across my way here. And then I can probably go up in here and finish everything above it and go from there. If you'll recall, I'm going to stop mine right here. So I'm getting very close to the bottom. A couple of more good sessions on it, and I'll be pushing this one to a finish. My plan is to stitch to here. I don't know whether I'll put that one in or not, but I may use that space for initials and dates, or I may just put that in and then put the initials and dates under here so that it looks a little more balanced, because it looks a bit crowded in here to me with this on the side and this right here. I think it's a bit crowded, so we'll see. I may decide to leave that off and move this heart over in the middle here so I have room for the flag to not be crowded, the 2 stars, and then maybe put my stuff at the bottom. We'll see. I'll have to think about that. I may or may not get any more stitching done today, but if I do, I'll pop back in here and share it with you. I like doing that before I put it away because then I don't forget what I've done or what I've noticed about it. So I hope you enjoy that, and I will talk to you soon. Happy stitching, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. This is Dina, and I am here just to give you a brief update this morning on some stitching that I finished today. I started on this a little bit last night and decided I was going to do a lot more than I originally planned to do, so I decided to wait until today to finish it up. So here you go. I pulled out my crabapple tree because I had it for a prompt in my 24 hours of cross stitch acrostic, and I wanted to stitch on it for at least my 200 stitches, which I do when it's the only thing I'm stitching for is the acrostic. So when I pull this out, I had completed these 2 squares and I had completed the white lettering in there that says summer here, and I had stopped right there. So my goal was to stitch at least 200 stitches in this border to bring it on across, because I have to scroll it up as I go to work on it. And I'll be working on this square for my whip go board. I want to get at least 1 season completed. So I thought, well, if I've got to scroll it up to work on it, I need to finish that and get it ready. So I started in the middle here. Well, all one color, white stitches, easy to do. You know, I just went ahead and finished it. So here you have it. I hope you can see it there. But I came in here in the middle. I started and did the middle motif. And then I came over here and I completed that word, which is autumn. It's hard for you to see it, so let me turn it the way it's actually spelled. There it is. A-U-T-U-M-N. So there you are, autumn. Isn't that cute? And then I went ahead and brought, this had stopped right here, and I went ahead and brought it down to the same place I had over here at the page break. This actually dips into the next page, but I wanted to finish the motif. But this is the page break all the way across in my working copy. So next time I will be ready to start on the season that I want to stitch for my whip go goal. This hasn't been called yet, but now at least I know I am absolutely ready, and I can scroll this up next time as far as I need to try to get the whole square in my working space. That's what I like to do. And so this one will be ready for me to start on when it's called, or if not, a little bit before. So I hope you have a great day of stitching. I hope I get to come back tonight and show you Nativity. Happy stitching, everybody. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dina. It is Sunday. It is February the 20th, and I'm here with an update for you. I have been working on 2 prompts, and they required a minimum of 300 stitches apiece. And I think I may have told you that those 2 prompts were scrambled letters, and one of them was love and the other was kiss. And I put in here, you know, that in the Nativity, you've got the Mary and Joseph who love each other and they love their son Jesus. And then you also have the fact that they're engaged, so you know they kiss, or you can also know that Mary kisses her baby just like we kiss our children when they're infants and love them so much. So I felt like that went well with this piece. Anyway, this is to remind you of what Teresa Wintzler's Nativity looks like. And one of the prompts I'm working on is for my for my whip go board. You'd think after this far into February I'd forget about January, wouldn't you? And I have to complete the entire angel by the end of the year to meet that goal. And this is really the first time I've worked on Nativity for any length of time whatsoever. And I've actually worked on it about 3 hours yesterday, and just a little bit longer today. Not 3 hours longer, just a little more time into it today. And I am thrilled to let you know that I hit both goals. I did 312 stitches for the first prompt, and I did 309 stitches for the second. I just stitched till my thread runs out. That's why I get these odd numbers. But here is where I'm at. Look at that, I'm so excited. So I have stitched the entire sleeve down to the page break almost, but until that has one more color in it right here that I didn't do yet. This is where Mary's head will be. This is where Joseph's head fits in. There's a little bit more of his cloak, I think, in between their heads. But when I started this, I only had this part of the wing done like you see over here. So I have added in all of this feather work in the last, 2 days. This sleeve wasn't even started, so I got the whole sleeve done. This sash, and then almost the wing to the page break. This is the page break right here. So I have probably 3, 4, I've got about 4 colors that I haven't touched at all, and I've got about 2 colors that I haven't completed all the way to the bottom. I've gotten down into here with them. So I was trying to work my way down from top to bottom and color complete as I went. And I did pretty well doing that. And then as I got down into here, they were so sporadic. Some of the colors I was working with weren't as dark anymore, and they got real sporadic in here, so I just stopped with them so I wouldn't miscount. And I went back up here and got the next color and worked my way down. So that's why this is almost completely done up here, and this is, much more sparse. But I'm stoked. I am so excited because for 1 month, that's a great deal of progress on this piece. And I'm just so happy with how it's turning out. I think it's beautiful. So, where does that leave me now on all these prompts for February? I have still the Whip Go prompt to finish. I won't finish that this month. That could take me another 3 or 4 months, but I don't think I'll have any trouble meeting that goal by the end of the year. I really am encouraged by how far I got. But as far as my scrambled words, that completed all of them. My 24 hours acrostic is done. My magazine acrostic is done completely. And my other extra 6 prompts that I added in Friday a week ago, I have completed all of them. So I did look at what I have left, and the one thing I have left is my animal adventures. I have done 6 of the 8 animals. I need to do 2 more, and I can do that. It has to be at minimum of 100 stitches, or 2, 3, 4, or 5. You have those categories. I like to do 300 on them because I get some benefits from doing that. I have the privilege of substituting another whip down the road if I want to, if I do that many stitches in a month. So I'm trying to do the 300 on each animal adventure for each animal that I'm searching for. But I have 2 more of those to do. But I can work on those with Pandemic or Enchanted Alphabet or Winter Quaker. So I will be pulling out one of those 3 now to try to get my next 2 prompts. And then the only thing I'll be working on that I haven't finished will be my Whip Go goal. And since that's an annual goal, my February portion of it, I'm going to say I've done a good job. And that's important because today is the 20th. I have 8 days left. I have a new start coming up on Tuesday with my friend Glow. And that means that I have 7 more days to look at my whips, determine what I'm going to take with me on my trips in March, because I have 2 of them coming up. One is a retreat, so I've got to get ready for retreat stitching. And then I want to have some time to plan March. Now I won't get acrostics yet, probably till the very end of the month. I won't know what my Whip Go goals are till the 27th of the month. So I have a few days to get some just sort of stitching on whatever I want, in addition to those 2 prompts I have left. So I did make the decision. One of the Facebook groups I'm in puts out a challenge every week. You get 2 weeks to finish it. So you always have the two challenges overlapping. You get one week, it goes for 2 weeks, but in the middle of those 2 weeks, you get another prompt, another challenge, and it'll go for 2 weeks. So it goes a week past the first one. So in other words, every week you get a new challenge, although you have 2 weeks that you can work on it. So they overlap each other. They overlap each other at least 1 week every time. So I looked at it and it was very interesting, but I decided I had enough prompts for the month. I actually had 44 when you added in the 6 that I went ahead and picked up in the middle of February when the challenge came out. So this means I have worked on 44 prompts if I get these last 2 animal adventures done. And I think that's a great deal of stitching for a short month. So I'm proud of myself. I think I've done fine. So I feel very productive, and I think I'm going to take a little time now to pull out one of those other projects, try to hit that 300 stitches for one of those animal adventures maybe today and maybe one tomorrow. And wouldn't that be exciting to get all my prompts done before I do my new start with my friend Globe? That's my goal. That's what I'm going to work toward. So I just wanted to share with you. I've been tracking along, and you can see that the only one on here that's not marked out is the Whipco goal. And the only one here that's left is 2 of these. So this has been a great tracking method. I recommend it if you want to try it. Go back and check it out. I actually label the video with planning in the title so you can find it easy enough. And I think that is my progress report for today. Happy stitching, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Good evening, everyone. This is Dina back again on the 20th of February for just a wrap up for the day. I did it. It is probably about 10, a little after 10, maybe 10:10. But I got both of my prompts of 300 stitches each met on my Enchanted Alphabet. It was a good one to pick to do that with because it's good little blocks of color. Each of the letters is 2 or 3 colors, but you know, they're little small blocks of color. So it made it easy to do. Easier than maybe if I had tried to do something that was really confetti heavy, but this is where I got to before I stopped today. So when I started, I had gotten all the way over to the I, and today I did the J and the K, and then I started the L right here. The L's right up here. Now, here's the interesting part. So this is where I'm at right here. So now I have M, if you can see this, M, this little N right here, which is real small, and then I'm to the little girl. Isn't that exciting? Anyway, very happy with that progress today. I want you to see it one more time because it's just, I think it's just really pretty on this green fabric. Lovely. So I'm going to let you get back to whatever it is you're doing, whatever you're stitching on or knitting or crocheting or quilting, whatever you're doing while you're watching, and I hope you are enjoying it, and I will see you soon. Hi everyone, welcome. This is Dina, and it is Monday, February 21st. I am going to do a new start today. I am going to test out a kit that I got from the Russian website that I spoke to you about earlier, wizardy.com, Wizardi.com. And this is my second kit that I'm working on from that location. And I've picked this ornament to make because there is a prompt in one of my Facebook groups. And you know, I'm ruled by those. But it's a prompt to do something, a Christmas ornament, either with a snowman or snow. And this is a snow-covered tree, in my opinion. It looks like a wintry swirl of wind, and it's a snow-covered tree. So that's what I'm going with. And just to remind you, this kit is on plastic, but it's very pliable. I'll let you know how that is to stitch with, but I think that's going to be much nicer than the old-fashioned canvas, plastic canvas that I worked on as a child, where it had the big yarn and that sort of thing. But I have already taken this plastic and cut one of the sheets in half, because this is all that you need for each of the ornaments. They're small. They're nice little petite things. And I'm going to be working on that today. And then I will come back and show you how far I get. Hi again. Hi, this is Dina. I'm back to share with you my stitching for the day. Just to remind you, I started this little ornament here on the plastic canvas this morning. And I have been fortunate enough to stitch on it off and on today. And I'm going to put a piece of the white felt that they send you for the backing material. This is what they send to back each one. And again, you would just turn it this way and cut it in half. But I'm just going to put it back here so you can not see through it, because I think you could see through the floss if I didn't have something behind it. But this is my finish. Isn't that cute? I really tell you, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. It was very easy to stitch on. As I said, it's pliable. So when I wanted to do a Borgello stitch to, you know, tie something off, it was easy to do. It did have one similarity to the wood, and that is because it's plastic. It will let you bend it this way, but it doesn't move out of the way like threads do. So you use 2 strands of floss for all the cross stitching. And so by the time you finish into that last leg of an X that's going in that hole that you've been in 3 times before, you do have to push your needle through pretty hard. So I will tell you, my hands are a little sore. My fingers are a little sore. I told one of my stitching friends that recently, and Joanne gave me a great tip. She showed me a tool that she had gotten from her L&S, and at first glance it looks like a pair of scissors, and then you realize that the tips are not sharp. They're actually flat so they can grip. And I said, oh, they remind me of pliers. But the difference is when you close them, they actually snap closed so that they're holding the needle tight. They're flat. They're not serrated or anything, or serrated. They're not serrated or anything. So they don't harm your needle. They don't scratch your needle. They just hold your needle. And you can just use those and pull your needle through without getting your fingers really sore. So I am on a hunt for those. I need to find those, and before I do another one of these kits. But I thought this turned out really pretty. I'll put this white felt on the back. There's a cutting guide on the pattern. Can't show you because it is a pattern, but there's a cutting guide for how to cut the tree out. So I figure I will do that, and after I have glued the felt on the back, or then glue it on there. Either way, doesn't really matter, but that'll be a nice finish on the back for it. And I'll probably put a pretty little hanger on here. My My friend Glow sent me some really pretty ones for Christmas this year, and so I think I might be using a few of those on these. So there you go. There's the first one of this kit. I think it's stitched up really pretty. I think the colors look great. It wasn't a difficult pattern to follow. Again, it's mostly Russian first, and then there's English second. So you just have to kind of look on the pattern and look around, read a little further down, and you'll find the English to let you know. But the color key is also on the pattern, so it would be one of those things. I'll see if I can cover it to share it with you. I think I can enough that I can show you the key. So here's the thing. Your threads are numbered 1 through, is that 18? 16. 1 through 16. It's hard for me to read it backwards. And then next to that is the symbol that you would find on the chart. And the symbol is in one of 3 columns. So the first column is 2 threads, full cross. The second column is backstitch 1 strand, and this column is backstitch 2 strands. So those keys are right here. So this is in Russian and this is in English. And so here's your, Russian and English. So that's how that worked. And so once I kind of figured it out, that I didn't have any problems with it. So not a problem with communication, not a problem with the language. I think even though it's a Russian kit, if you don't speak Russian, I think you could still make it happen. So I'm really pleased with it. I think it's quite cute, and I'll be finishing this up for this coming year, and I will plan on stitching the other 3 at some point in time. I'm going to do them all, I think. That was lovely. I enjoyed it. So I still have it kitted in my little Christmas bag that my friend Marlene, Stitching by the Lake, gifted me one Christmas. Marlene, I'm still using it for all my Christmas smalls. So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight. I was able to stitch today twice with friends. It was a wonderful day. Hey, we wish you were here. It's a beautiful day. She's minding you well.
Okay. Whoops.
Oh. She said I'll skip those 3 and go straight to the puzzle.
Whoops. Now who's trained?
Oh, that's funny.
We put down too many.
Put down too many. It took her too long to get there.
Too much.